do not back Slay the Spire on Kickstarter. All right, that's my thesis. Let me get there little by little. I'm not sure what your familiarity is with any of the terms I'm about to use a bunch, so we'll go through them one at a time. Okay, Slay the Spire is a video game that is a deck builder, something that was made popular by the game Dominion. It's a board game thing that they turned into a video game thing that they're now turning into a board game thing. And so let's start with this. What's a deck builder? Okay, deck building is a really popular style of game. Like I said, brought to us, I think first, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, first by Dominion. Basically what it comes down to is you take an initial deck of kind of crappy cards. Usually they've got some little action inherent to the game and then some kind of buying power. At the end of your turn or at some point in the game, you get to take the cards you played, or maybe it's the cards you have left over, and you get to use the buying power to then purchase newer, better cards. The ones that actually make the game fun, they're going to be better at doing what it is the game's asking you to do. Eventually, you would hope to cull all your original cards out, so you got this nice tight little engine. Lots of games use it. Lots of games do it really, really well. Deck builders are super fun. Connor and I love deck builders. So that's what a deck builder is. What is Slay the Spire? So I heard about this game probably 2 or 3 years ago, and I heard about it as board game people talking about it as one of their favorite deck builders, which I'm a sucker for anyone telling me something is a really good game that I don't have yet. So I went looking into it, only to find out it's not a board game. It's only a video game, but it is that same system. You're going to start out with some cards. You're going to get better cards. You're going to try to beat some bad guys with your cards until, you get to the big boss at the end. When I found out it was coming to Kickstarter, I kind of stored that one away. Thought that's pretty cool. I'll find out more when it gets here. Well, I'm talking on November 1st. It's here. And a few days ago, I thought to myself, okay, the campaign's about to start on Kickstarter. Let me look into this. Let me actually play it. So I downloaded Slay the Spire, and it's really awesome. Slay the Spire is a really fun, kind of quick game. You can get lost in it though too, like any good video game. Reminds me a lot of the video game Dead Cells, which it's got basically the same aesthetic. It's a roguelike game, so you're trying to go through the dungeon. If you lose, you die, you start over, but every time feels really fun. Different characters to play with. It's awesome. I was really excited. I could not wait. Over the past few days, I was really excited to see what this campaign was going to be. And then it dropped. They opened it all up. They let us know what it was going to be. And do not back Slay the Spire on Kickstarter. Before I go any further, I want to make it clear who I'm not talking to. I'm not talking to people who have unlimited funds, okay? If you love board games and money is no object, then by all means, go do this, support the creators, have a ball, okay? If you're a person who, for you, Slay the Spire is just it. It's the end-all, be-all. It's your favorite game. Then yeah, for sure, get it. An ode to a pastime that you've gotten a lot of fun out of. You'll be able to show it to more people. Swell. Do it. Go for it. But if you're just a board gamer on a budget, you got to stay away from this thing. And I don't want to be disrespectful to the creative people who have been working on this cardboard implementation, but I just don't know how you could ever justify paying the money. Now, I'm the king of regretting board game purchasing decisions, but maybe what I've learned, I can try to help you guys not regret this. What's the problem with this? First of all, it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look cheap or rushed. It just kind of doesn't need to exist. And if it existed at a $60 price point, maybe I'm in. But it doesn't. Okay, so to give you the rundown, basically, the cheapest thing that you can actually, put money towards the campaign and get something back is $100. You're getting kind of the bare bones game with the stretch goals unlocked and all that kind of stuff. $100. That's a Lacerda game. That's a Whirligig, a Pax Pamir John Company game. That's a Zombicide game. That's a lot of these big games. And this will have a lot to it too. Except, will it though? Right? It's a card game. It's a card game, and it's going to have some recessed boards. It's going to have, I'm having flashbacks to the Castles of Burgundy by Awakened Realms, miniatures for some reason. There's no board that things are being played on in terms of area control stuff. They're just there because Kickstarter. This doesn't need to exist in part because the video game's really great and it's $10. That's 1/10 of the cheapest thing you can get. By the way, if you want to go all in, that's $210. After shipping, if you're in the US, that's $234 for a game that I think will also, and I guess point 2 on this is just play better on your phone. Don't want to get into a whole digital versus board game thing, but no matter what you think about digital implementations of board games, it doesn't really matter because this is a board game implementation of a digital, right? Of a video game. So some of the stuff that's out there is, you're going to have these bad guys that you're fighting along the way, and in the game, it's kind of randomized. Are they going to attack? Are they going to defend? Are they going to do a negative buff or something? And that works here too, except you have to roll a dice every time to see what they're going to do. Video games have this great thing where they just do that for you in the background. I'm okay with dice and everything else, but it's just this added thing, this video game in the palm of your hand that is just so snappy and so quick. It's just going to be this kind of clunkier version. Even if they did a great job implementing it, it's not going to be a video game. So you've got yourself a situation where you can either have the better version of what this game was originally meant to be for $10, or you can pay $100 to $234 for something that's maybe great, but still not going to be what it was originally meant to be. So I don't know why you would do that. And I'm not going to rail against Kickstarter. I'm not going to rail against the, people trying to make money in this industry, right? You have to make money. But man, you don't have to give it to them. But maybe you're thinking to yourself, okay, cool. You're right. Cooler heads prevail. But I do have $234, Rodney, and I don't know what else to do with it. I bet we can come up with a package that's going to be more satisfying, a lot more going on than just this game. And again, they might have done a great job with this game. I don't have large opinions about that. I'm not even going to look into it. I'm not going to let myself figure it out because it's silly. It's silly that this is happening. So $234, let's say, you like a deck building game that's cooperative and you're fighting big bad beasties. Aeon's End. The only version I've played is War Eternal. I think it's basically the same system. Aeon's End, some great little twists on the deck building genre as well. That's like $50 or 40 some bucks. Okay. If you like board games that are made from video games, especially video games with great aesthetics, which I like the aesthetic of Slay the Spire. I always want to say Dice Head, but Cuphead, the fast dice rolling game. Forget the whole title. Little expensive for what it is. USAopoly, which always feels kind of like a mass market type game, but it looks really nice. If you like that old cartoony style, but don't want to drop, what Townsfolk Tussle would cost, do that. Fun game, fast, and it also has a campaign style, and you get to add boons and buff up your characters, not unlike what we're talking about here. if you just like card games, because after all, that's what Slay the Spire is. It's a card game, right? So we're talking about a $200+ card game. If you like card games and you like them to look great and have fancy components, go to Roxley's website, $60, the deluxe version of Radlands. Only a 2-player game, competitive instead of cooperative, but you won't regret it. Let's see. Let's throw in Ra, just because it's the greatest game of all time. Has nothing to do with these games. I just think everyone should own it. And why not throw in a used copy of Dominion? Dominion can be hard to find sometimes. No, most friendly local game stores have it, but they'll charge you like $50. Go on the secondary market, get a used copy of Dominion, started the whole thing, right? See how you feel about that. Be like $30. And let's see, we probably got about $10 left over. You know, why don't you go to wherever you buy apps and spend $10 to buy Slay the Spire and play it, because it's awesome and it doesn't need to cost this. So again, I don't know how I sound. I'm not trying to be dismissive of people who worked hard on this project, but I'm dismissing this. Stay away. Just, there's a lot of board games. There's a lot of Slay the Spire to be played on your phone or Nintendo Switch or whatever else. Stay away, guys. Don't do it. Don't fall for the hotness, the cult of the new, whatever stretch goals they come up with. If they have a 10-foot tall Galactus for some reason, don't do it. Stay away. Spend wisely. Thanks, guys.